Thank you very much. Thank you. And a very, very special hello to Pennsylvania. What a great place. And I'm thrilled to be back in this beautiful Commonwealth with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. That's what you are. And I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question. Are you better off now or... just remember this. I'll tell you what, you remember it. Do you like it better now or 4 years ago? Well, I ask it a different. You like it better now or 4 years ago? And I've come today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote on Tuesday, I will end inflation. I will stop the invasion of massive numbers of criminals coming into our country. Thank you very much, Kamala and Joe. And I will bring back the American dream, and we'll bring it back stronger than ever before. But this is all you need to know. Kamala broke it, and we will fix it, and we're going to fix it fast. America will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before. The election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of incompetence and failure, which is what we have right now, or whether we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. And I'm asking you to be excited about the future of our country again. I'm asking you to dream big again. This will be America's new golden age. This is going to be a golden age, and it's hard to believe, isn't it, huh? We're talking about a golden age, but that's hard to believe because we have been so low. We've never been this low. The image of our country is terrible. It's terrible. It's a failed country. That's what it is. They view us as a nation in decline, but even worse, they view us as a failed country. We're going to turn it around. The image is so bad. What they've done to our country, this incompetent group of fools, what they've done to our country is so damn bad. And the media is so damn bad. It's unbelievable. Every inch of it. Every problem facing us can be solved, but the fate of our nation is in your hands. On Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to go. You got to just go out and you got to stand up. We've done this for so long. This is 9 years. We have to get out. But you have to tell that horrible, terrible, the worst ever vice president. Nobody knows where the other guy is. Where the hell is he? Where the hell did he go, David? Where is he? Nobody knows where the hell. Where is Biden? Remember? We used to go, where's Hunter? We used to go, where's Hunter? Now we go, where the hell is Biden? Where's Joe? You know, when you think they stole the election. It was just, they walked in, they said, you're out. Right? That's a threat to democracy. They call me threat to democracy. They stole the election from this guy. Whether you like him or not, they stole the election. They walked in. They said, get out of here, Joe. You're out. You're dead. You're out, Joe. And man, oh, man, he likes me better than he likes her, I really believe. And you have to tell Kamala that you've had enough, Kamala. You've had enough. You're the worst ever. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here. You know, it's amazing. I watched her yesterday, and she's saying all these things she's going to do when she gets to office. First of all, she's got 3 more months. But more importantly, why the hell didn't she do this stuff before? First of all, none of it did she believe in. None of it. She's changed 15 different policies. She's a radical left Marxist. And if she ever heads this country is finished. And I say it loud and clear. Everything we've been fighting for so hard to achieve for the past 9 years all comes down to the next 2 days. Think of it. We've worked in this for 9 years, and we got a phony press. We got a lot of crooked people out there. We're fighting like a son of a gun. We're fighting. They are fighting so hard to steal this damn thing. Look at what's going on. Look at what's going on in your state. Every day, they're talking about extending hours and stuff. Who ever heard of this stuff? We should have one-day voting and paper ballots. Then I just heard that a couple of states may go an extra 12 days. How the hell do you have an election? You know, they spend all of this money on these damn machines, and paper ballots, you'd have the answer by 9 o'clock tonight. It's a damn shame, and I'm the only one that talks about it because everyone's afraid to damn talk about it. And then they accuse you of being a conspiracy theorist. These are conspiracy, and they want to lock you up. They want to put you in jail. The ones that should be locked up are the ones that cheat on these horrible elections that we go through in our country. And I don't know what's going to happen, but for future elections, I won't be even a part of it. But you ought to damn well go to paper ballots. You ought to go to voter ID. And you ought to have the election over by 9 o'clock. I'm hearing now they're going to take weeks. Can you imagine? They spend all this money on machines, and they're going to say, we may take an extra 12 days to determine. And what do you think happens during that 12 days? What do you think happens? These elections have to be decided by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock on Tuesday night. Bunch of crooked people. These are crooked people. You know, in California, they just signed a bill that if you're an official or anybody, you're not even allowed to ask anybody for their voter ID. And if you do, you've created a criminal act or something. I mean, they only do that because they want to cheat. What the hell are they doing? The whole world is laughing at us. They're laughing at us. You know what? And if nothing comes out of this whole thing, it's going to teach you, you damn well better get a different system. And these bloodsuckers up there, they do nothing about it. What a shame. What a shame. That's why the world laughs at us. They all have elections. You know, France had crooked elections because they had paper ballots years ago, and they switched. And now they have paper ballots. And at 9 o'clock in the evening, they called the winner, they called the loser, everyone home, everybody was fine. They had voter ID, they had paper ballots, they had one-day election. At 9 o'clock, it was over. They called the winner, they called the loser, everyone went home. Now they say, well, wait till the next time. We got to get smart as a country. This is just one thing. It's all corrupt. She's corrupt. She's a corrupt person. I'm running against a totally corrupt person. And I'm really not running against her. I'm running against a corrupt machine called the Democrat Party. It's totally a corrupt party. Guys like Adam Shifty Schiff, these are corrupt people. And to think he'll probably be a senator, can you believe it? Watermelon head. No, he's a watermelon head. He's got the smallest neck I've ever seen. I don't know how the hell he can hold up that enlarged watermelon head. What an ugly guy, both inside and out. But it's now or never. This is it. This is the moment. We've been waiting 9 years for this, and we got 2 days, and we got all this crap going on with the press and with the fake stuff and fake polls. And by the way, the polls are just as corrupt as some of the writers back there. They can make those polls sing. They can make them sing. They brag about it. I got a poll. I'm 10 points up in Iowa. One of my enemies just puts out a poll. I'm 3 down. Joni Ernst called me. Everyone's called me. They said, you're killing in Iowa. The farmers love me and I love them. But they came up. They just announced a fake poll. Hey, think of it. Right before the election that I'm 3 points down. I'm not down in Iowa. I got $28 billion for the farmers. $28 billion. Nobody else would have gotten 10 cents. Joe would sleep. Do you think he thinks about the farmers? And you know who gave me the $28 billion for the farmers? China. because China screwed our farmers. And then they tell me I'm down in Iowa. I don't think so. And you know what? A good poll, Emerson, no friend of mine, they said that poll is wrong. Everybody said, why do they announce a poll that's highly skewed toward Democrats and liberals? Why do they do that? When you read it, they interviewed far more Democrats than they did Republicans. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? And I guess there's a law that they have to say that because they would have preferred not having to say that. Our country is a crooked country, okay? It's a crooked country, and we're going to make it straight. We're going to make it straight, and it's not an easy thing to do. They'll want to put you in jail because you want to make it straight. Think of it. Think of it. They cheat on elections, and you call them on it, and they want to put you in jail. Think about it. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen, but I love it. You know why? Because we've proven something, we've shown something, and we're going to get it fixed, and we got to win this election. It's all up to now. I mean, we got 2 days. We've been working for 9 years. We did a great job. We had the best economy ever. We had the wall. We had everything. I built over 500 miles of wall. They don't even talk about the wall. But we had the best border, the safest border. I won't pull down my world's favorite chart because I don't want to waste a lot of your time. But my world's favorite chart, done by the Border Patrol, it said we had the safest border in the history of our country the day that I left. I shouldn't have left. I mean, honestly, because we did so well. We had such a great. So now, I mean, every polling booth has hundreds of lawyers standing there. It's all about the lawyers. Everybody's standing lawyers. Nobody should have that. You should have a damn ballot and you hand it in. Do you know that in Arizona, where I'm winning by a lot, but it takes 4 hours to fill out the ballot. They've got page after page, and people are complaining they don't have time. It takes 4 hours to fill it out. Why is that? Why is that? I can tell you why. But so many places. Pennsylvania, I love Pennsylvania. I went to school here. I think the people are incredible. But they found, as I understand it, I mean, I don't know what's happened in the last day or so, but in Lancaster, they found 2,600 ballots, all done by the same hand. In other words, the same exact penmanship, the same hand, the same everything. It was all done by the same pen, the exact same pen. And then they go and they say, well, this is a conspiracy theorist. It's a terrible thing that's happened to our country. And the whole world watches it, even third world countries. I was telling a friend came in last night. He comes from a country, works there a lot, and knows it. And it's not a great country, to be honest with you. And he said, but when we vote, they take our fingerprints and they check our fingerprints. We can't get away with anything. This is a third world country. In our country, think of it. You are not allowed to even ask for somebody's voter ID. And if you do ask, I think they have the right to put you in jail. Not the one that's cheating, the one that's asking, I want honesty. Oh, let's go to jail. It's a terrible thing. And I tell you what, I love being off these stupid teleprompters because the truth comes out. The truth comes out. And at least you find out that it's nice to have a president that doesn't have to use teleprompters. You ever see her? And I'm being nasty to her because you know what? She's really bad. She shouldn't have been chosen. She got no votes. This is supposed to be a democracy. You could call it a republic. People say, oh, it's a republic. Okay, whatever you want to call it. It's supposed to be fair. And they ripped the election away from this poor, stupid guy. They ripped it away. Like candy from a baby. It's the way you do. You ever take candy from a baby? Hello, darling, give me some of that candy. Just give it to me. You rip it right out of the baby's hand. That's what happened here. It's a corrupt deal. And I think at some point it's got to be changed. Got to be changed. Do you know that paper ballots, and by the way, now the machines are going to really hit me hard because, you know, they never heard anybody hit them like this. But do you know that paper ballots, paper is very sophisticated. It's called watermark. It's watermarked, highly sophisticated. It's more sophisticated than the machines they use, which can be hacked and things can happen. You know, a great gentleman is Elon Musk. All right? And I said to Elon, I assume you're very good with computers, right? They said, well, I think I'm one of the best. He said, it wasn't the engines that landed that rocket the other day. It was the computers telling the engines what to do. I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm really good. Well, he looked at the machines, just looked at them. And he doesn't have to look like normal people. Normal people have to rip them apart and figure out what's going on. That's normal experts. He goes like this. The machines are, oh. He looked, oh. Meaning he knew the machine immediately. You know, he does this stuff for a living. So he looks, and he actually made the statement. He said, look, computers are great for sending rockets up and everything else, but there should never be machines used in voting. Everything should be paper ballots put in boxes, voter ID, also identification for the country. In other words, little questions like, now, are you a citizen of the United States? These are little questions. These aren't big questions. Excuse me, ma'am, are you a citizen of the United States? No, I'm not. You're not allowed to ask. Oh, what city do you live in? It's none of your business. I'm voting. Do you understand? Now, if you show up in a suit and tie, they say, we don't want this guy voting. You got to see what they do. I mean, what they do is so sad. But Elon is a total pro. And I saw his mother, the most elegant woman. I said, Elon, she produced you. Well, she produced one hell of a smart guy. But did you see his mother with a beautiful white hair? She looked like total royalty. And she said she went, I think, to New York. And she pulls out identification. No, I don't need that, ma'am. Oh, of course you do. It's my, she wanted to give it. They didn't want it. And she said, very interesting. She was interviewed just yesterday. A very smart woman, produced a lot of smart kids too. Not just Elon, a lot of smart kids. And she was amazed. She left there. They didn't want any information. They didn't want her ID. They didn't want identification. And she said, you know, that's a strange thing. I've been in many countries and they always want your identification. So, look, we have a country with a massive headache, and it would go a lot longer than headache. It would be a much stronger word than the word headache. And we have to solve this problem because we have a mess on our hands. We got a bunch of cheaters that all they do is think about how they can cheat. Think of this. You know, when I run this election, we have meetings with Susie and Chris and all professionals, respected people, a lot of people. And we talk about strategy like, what do you think we're going to say? Or where are we going to hold a rally? And how much are things going to cost? And what are we doing? You know, in other words, normal. When they meet to find out how can they cheat. And when you think of it, they have to. Because who wants to have policies of open borders where anybody in the world can come in, where you can, and by the way, 90% of the Democrats, not the sleazebags like Schiff and Schumer and crazy Nancy Pelosi, Pocahontas, not those people, but the people that vote. You know, the real Democrats, they actually tell me all the time, I don't know why the hell we can't have voter ID. The real Democrats want to have things like voter ID. They know it's crooked. There's only one reason you don't want voter ID. There's only one reason, and that's to cheat. There is no other reason. There's no other reason. And they do cheat. Isn't this better than my speech? No, because honestly, somebody's got to talk about it. They say, sir, I'd rather have you not talk about it. We have a certain network. Oh, if you even mention the fact that there's cheating in elections, they turn you off. I mean, this is supposed to be one of our brave, very brave networks. I won't mention which, but you can imagine. You know, it's one thing when CNN and MSNBC, crooked as hell. Look at CBS. Look what CBS did. They took this person who's a low IQ person. They took her, they interviewed her, and the main question they asked her, she gave an answer that was absolutely insane. It was a pile of words taken, mixed up, and thrown onto a board. It was the craziest frickin' answer I've ever seen. And CBS, who's licensed for free, they don't pay anything, by the federal government, why aren't these licenses bid out? Why aren't they worth billions of dollars? All they're supposed to do is be honest. So CBS, now their main news show is 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes took her answer, realized it was a disaster. And you know they wouldn't do it for me. They would love me to give that guy. And you're right. So she said, you would never mess up anyway. You're right. I mean, you know, somebody has, hey, I sat for a 3-hour interview with Joe Rogan, and it was great. And you have to be smart. I sat 2 days ago, I sat with Tucker Carlson, and we had an interview, an hour and a half. It was at 11:30 in the evening after I did 4 rallies. And it was fine, you know. I mean, they ask you a question, you know, it's very simple. They ask you a question and you give them an answer, if you're intelligent. But she's not an intelligent person. She was not a good student. She was a horrible student. She didn't pass her bar exam. I mean, I know a lot of people, they didn't pass it, but, you know, that's okay. But she didn't pass it. But she was a horrible student. She's not a smart person. We're dealing against the roughest, toughest, smartest. Oh, the press goes crazy. If I say President Xi of China is a brilliant man, they go crazy. He called him brilliant. Well, he runs 1.4 billion people with an iron fist. Yeah, I'd say he's brilliant. That doesn't mean he's a good person. I happen to think, I mean, what he did with COVID was, I called that along. I said it came from the Wuhan lab, and people have a lot of different theories on it. I happen to think it was gross incompetence. The doctor came out of the lab. He had lunch with his girlfriend. She caught it. He caught it. They caught it. Everybody started dying all over the place. And they suffered plenty. But these people are very smart, and they're at the top of their game. Top of their game. We have a man that he can't find the stairs off a platform, right? No, he's guiding us. And, you know, we have a problem. We don't have a global warming problem. They don't use that term anymore anyway because, as you can see, the planet, it's very cool out here today, isn't it? Oh, they go crazy when I say it. But it's not global warming because at certain points it starts to cool a little bit, like now, but like this period. And they're getting killed with global, so they changed it. You know what the term is? Climate change. This way, if it gets warmer, it's fine. If it gets cooler, if it rains, if snow comes down in the middle of the summer, it's climate change, you know. I mean, we have a girl, not a smart girl either. She's not smart. She's got a good shtick, but she's not smart. AOC +3. Do you remember how this whole hoax started? She came down and she started screaming at senators that have been there for 30 years, Democrats, and they were totally afraid of her. They're less afraid of her now, but half of them are gonzo. And we've spent trillions and trillions of dollars on things that, you know, putting windmills all over these magnificent plains and fields and valleys and oceans. And then they had one whale in, I think, 50 years come up. And then last year, they had like 18 of them wash ashore, die. And it's all a big hoax. So many things. So this is just like, we're talking about a history lesson. It's just, to me, it's more interesting than the speech that you've heard approximately 900 times, because I've been saying the same thing. You know, with a speech, I mean, I have beautiful, oh, it's so beautiful, but it's true. But it's basically the same thing. We have bad borders, and they don't do anything about them. But they're not only bad, they're open, and they do no vetting. This moron does no vetting, and she's the border czar. The border czar. But then she said, I'm not the border czar. Don't ever call me the border czar. Yeah, well, she is a liar. You're right about that. But for different reasons. So don't call her the border czar, but she was appointed to head the border. Now, the Border Patrol last week gave me the strongest endorsement anybody's ever given me, I think. They actually called me the greatest president in the history of our country. I said, does that include Abraham Lincoln? Does that include Abraham Lincoln and George Washington? They said, actually, it does. So anyway, so they like me. But they said the best border president. They said Tom Homan, one of the top guys, he said he's the greatest president we've had. We had the best border that we've had in recorded history. I mean, it was good. And I took over a mess, because I took over the mess that Barack Hussein Obama and this, who's a big divider, who's a major divider, and he's a major troublemaker, okay? And, you know, I've always treated his wife with respect. Just one of those things. But I've always treated his wife with great respect. But she came at me the other day. That's not nice of her to do. And I think we're going to start having a little fun with Michelle. I think we're going to have a little fun with Michelle. But I always treated her with a lot of respect. And we just have to know. Look, so we have a very divided country. And you really have, look, anybody that wants to have open borders for 13,099 murders to come in over the last 3 years, for 16,000 of the worst drug lords and drug sellers to come into our country. And you know what they do? They tell them, if you ever come back, we'll kill you. So they don't want to leave. We're going to get them out because they're going back because, you know, see, our country's stupid enough. Our country's stupid enough that we give them massive amounts of, they call it aid, but we give them massive amounts of aid. You know where the aid goes? Into the dictator's pocket for the most part. But we give massive amounts of aid. So I told them, I said, if you don't stop behaving, I'm going to end up taking away all that aid. You're never going to see any aid. And they were so good after that. They were so good. But for the sake of your family and your country and for the sake of your freedom, you've got to get out and vote. You got to get these lunatics out of there. You've got to get them out. With your help, we're going to defeat Kamala. I don't even use her last name. Nobody knows who the hell I'm talking about when I say Harris. How is Harris doing? Who the hell is Harris, everybody? Even people that are, you know, look at all the people we have here. Look at over there. They're all over the place. You know, it's a little strange. I'm a pretty smart guy. I have genetic. Do you believe in genetics? I do, you know. Fast racehorses produce fast racehorses, whether you like it or not. And but I'm a very I believe in it, and like I'm smart. I tell the story. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. He said brilliant. Well, probably brilliant, but no. And we do the weave, right? This is a weave today. They'll say, and this is a very important lesson because I'm trying to tell you what's happening with our country. It's going bad. And it can never get fixed because we're never going to get the right people in because of what they do with the elections. We're going to get a bunch of crooks and horrible people. And not dumb people, by the way, you know. She's a dumb person, but the party, but she's not going to run. She's a vessel. She's a vessel, and she's just a vessel. They didn't want him, and then they found out he's perfect. He's perfect because he didn't know what the hell he was doing. They got away. But this is a group of people, large group of people, larger than people think. But it's a very demonic party. It's become that way. The people aren't. The people, Democrats, regular Democrats aren't. Most of them agree with what I'm saying. But it's very, but we do need people to say it, and we have to have it. And if it's not said, and then they're going to fight over it. They're going to call you a horrible person, and all of the things that they call you, conspiracy theorist. He's a conspiracy theorist. They don't tell you that they cheated. Think of it. They spied on my campaign, and they refused to even acknowledge it to this day. But people acknowledge it. But look at all of the things, the Mueller report. They said Russia, Trump's involved with Russia. I don't know a damn thing about Russia. Trump is involved with Russia. It was made up. You know what that was? That was an excuse for why crooked Hillary Clinton, and she is crooked as hell. And now that Joe Biden has been taken out by his party of politics, I can start using the word crooked back to Hillary. I can put it back. You know, I took it off a couple of years ago because I figured she was finished. But actually, I see her talking so much. She's got major Trump derangement syndrome. They were going to operate to see if they could fix it, but it was so severe that the doctor said it would be a waste of a surgeon's time. No, but you like to have smart. And, you know, somebody said, is it true that your uncle is Dr. John Trump of MIT? I said, yes, it is. Do you know my uncle was the longest serving professor in the history of MIT? Like, I think 41 years or something, 39, 41. And there's something nice about that. And I'm just looking here and I'm watching, and this has nothing to do with corruption, but it has to do with a little bit of intelligence. And I have a piece of glass over here, and I don't have a piece of glass there. And I have this piece of glass here. But all we have really over here is the fake news, right? And to get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news. And I don't mind that so much, because I don't mind that. So I have a piece of glass here. And the problem with that glass is I don't look great on television when you have a 4-inch piece of glass that a howitzer can't go through. No, when you see yourself on television, you say, boy, you're really not very recognizable, to be honest with you, which is good. But here's the problem. So I have glass here, I have glass here. Now, I'm not worried about this. Look, what do I have? A couple of people, and they're friends, generally. There are a couple of people I don't like in that group, but that's like, no, but look at it. Look at it. I have nobody here. What do I need this piece? But where I think I do need a piece is here. And I think, no, I'm a very smart person. You know, they refused it. You know, now they are saying, that was the most brilliant speech. They're saying, it's a weave, you go. And then you're here. And then what happens is while you're here, there's a point having to do with that point. And you go, wing, wing. Then you come here. Then you do another weave, he. And it's very complex, but then it gets very simple because it all comes brilliantly and beautifully together. And they actually acknowledge this total genius there. They don't, not all of them do. Most of them are failed writers. They're not even good writers, okay? They're bad writers, so they don't understand the weave. They'll never be able to do it. But here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at cameras. The problem is, when you watch me tonight, you'll say, the president doesn't look that good. Well, how the hell do you look good? Look at the size of this sucker. Nice to see you. Thank you. So just to finish up on that list, because I don't want to waste a lot of time on the list, but it does seem sort of ridiculous, doesn't it? I don't need a piece here, fellas. I need a piece here. I need a piece. I'm not worried about these people. Maybe David.